Okay, so now we are at our final video in this series for the Winter 2020 paper 2. So let's work on task number 5 first. Okay, it says printing the evidence document. Okay, so this is a no-brainer. Basically, you need to print out your evidence document. Okay, so I am going to open my evidence document. Okay, and I'm just basically going to print it. So I'm going to call this print out 6. Easy peasy. Okay, task number 6. Okay, so now we are going to work on PowerPoint or presentation authoring. Okay, so you are going to create a short presentation. All slides must have consistent layout and formatting. Unless otherwise instructed, slides must be formatted to display a title and bulleted list. Okay, so create a presentation of 5 slides using the file n220rex.rtf. Use a master slide to display only the following features: your name, center number, and candidate number in the bottom left corner. Fine, okay. The club logo, which is saved as n220logo.jpg in the source files, positioned in the top left corner, resized to a width of 3 centimeters with aspect ratio maintained. Automated slide numbers on the top right of every slide. Okay, so obviously in order for us to answer the questions here, we need PowerPoint. So let's open PowerPoint. Okay, and then I'm just going to save it in my working folder. What should I call it? PP. Okay. Alright, so the first question, right, requires us to create a presentation of 5 slides using the file n220rex.rtf. Okay, so I'm going to go to new slides and I'm going to say slides from outline. So basically the n220rex.rtf file is basically an outline. So I'm going to select that, go back to my folder. Right. Okay, so notice that there are actually 5 slides that are actually imported into the presentation authoring application. Okay, so the first slide is empty. Obviously, we don't need that. Okay, let's get rid of it. Okay, now, this is the mail merge one. Let's close that. Don't need that. Don't save. Okay, so using a master slide to display only the following features: your name, center number, and candidate number in the bottom left corner. Now, instead of going into the slide master and doing this, okay, I'm going to use a slightly different approach. Reason being because I've noticed that if I go into the slide master, okay, and put my name, center number, and candidate number at the bottom in the prepared footer section, okay, sometimes it goes missing. Okay, so I'm going to use another method. So I'm going to go to File, Print, and then I'm going to edit header and footer. Okay, now because the question says that the automated slide number needs to be displayed, right, I'm going to check the automated slide number, and in the footer I'm just going to put in my name, center number, and candidate number, and I need to apply it to all the slides. Okay, now obviously the position of this, okay, should be in the bottom left hand corner, which is here, and the automated slide number should be on the top right corner here. So let's fix that now by heading into the slide master or the master slide. Okay, so I'm going to go to view and I'm going to go to slide master here. Now make sure you select the top one because it controls all the other different slide layouts as well. So you need to select the big one basically. Okay, so this has to go to the left. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to swap positions of these two text boxes. Okay, so I'm going to center align this and I'm going to left align this so that I can move it over and just change the position. Okay, and then the automated slide number should be displayed at the top left, top right, sorry. So I'm just going to move this up and place the filler here. Okay, so let's exit the slide master and see whether the changes have been made. Okay, everything looks good. Okay, this is on the bottom left and then the slide number is actually on the top right. Okay, so next we need to put in the club logo positioned in the top left corner, resized to a width of 3 centimeters. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the slide master, go all the way back up here and put the logo here. So I'm going to insert picture from this device, obviously, desktop, 3 centimeters. So I'm just going to double click on it, and the width, I'm going to change it to 3 cm. I'm going to shift it so that it is positioned here, I suppose. Okay, there you go. Doesn't really look that great. Okay, you know what? I'm just going to move the position of the title down a little bit. Okay, so let's see whether that helps. Okay, gonna click this and I'm gonna move it down a little bit. Is this gonna help? Better. Okay, so we're done with that already. Make sure that the master slide item appears on in the same position on every slide. There is no overlap on any slide, right? So we fixed that overlapping position previously by actually moving the title, okay, downwards a little bit. Okay, so number 31, insert a new slide as slide 1 and format this slide so that the title slide layout is applied with no bullets. The title and subtitle text are centered in the middle of the slide. So I'm going to insert a new slide and I'm going to select title slide and I'm going to move it to the first position. So this is basically a title and subtitle slide. A title slide, okay. What am I doing? The title and subtitle text are centered in the middle of the slide. There you go. So it's ready-made for you. And then we need to enter the text Tawara MTB 2020 race as a title on slide number 1. Enter the text presented by followed by your name as a subtitle on slide number 1. Okay, simple. Okay, Tawara MTB 2020 race. And then presented by followed by your name. Bam, done. Let's move on to the next page. On the slide with the title The Course, locate the 3 items: 1 arrow, straight ahead slow, 2 arrows, caution, dangerous situation, 3 arrows, serious hazard, extreme caution. Format these 3 items to look like this. So there will be your bullet point and then your sub points or your second level points, like so. Okay, so let's look for that one. There you go. So potential dangerous situations. So all these 3 have to be changed to a second level bullet point. So I'm going to press tab and then I'm going to change the style to dash. Okay, so I'm going to go to bullets and numbering, and then I'm going to select customize and I'm going to look for the dash symbol, hyphen. Whoops. There you go. Okay, so that's what the question actually wants. Okay, so number 34. Add the following text as presenter or speaker notes to the slide with the title, The Course. Motorbikes and cars will be using the course too. Please take extreme care. Okay, the course. Oh, it's the same. Okay, so in order for us to add notes, okay, you will notice that there's actually a hidden portion that you can actually pull out, okay, or you can press notes and then you will see this small section appear. So you just basically need to type in what the question wants. So what presenter notes basically is that when a person is presenting, okay, they can actually display the presenter notes on a different screen so that they can know what they're supposed to talk about for each particular slide. Okay, so please take extreme care. Okay, so print only this slide as presenter or speaker notes. Make sure that your name, center number, and candidate number are on this slide. So I need to print slide number 3. Okay, so I'm going to go to print, and then I'm going to select notes page. Okay, and then I'm going to select print selection. Okay, because that's the page I want to print. Okay, now you will notice, right, that your name, center number, and candidate number does appear, but it's really, really small. Okay, So as a backup and to be safe, okay, let's go to edit header and footer. And you'll notice that there are actually two different options here for header and footer. There's slides, which are used for each individual slide, and then notes and handouts when you actually print out notes. How do I say this? When you actually print slides in notes page or presenter or speaker notes form. Okay, so in order to play safe, I'm just going to put in my name, center number, and candidate number in the footer as well. Okay, so when I print this out, I can be very, very sure that the examiner can see it. So I'm going to print, and I'm going to call it printout 7. Okay, almost done, guys. So save the presentation, print the presentation as handouts with 2 slides to the page, each filling half the page. Okay, so make sure that your name, center number, and candidate number are on all slides as well. Okay, so I'm going to go to print again, but instead of printing selection, I'm going to print all slides, and I need to print it as 2 slides per page, handouts, right? Okay, so make sure your name, center number, and candidate number appear on every single printout as well. So I'm going to go to edit header and footer. Under notes and handouts, okay, going to make sure that my name, center number, and candidate number are here as well. And I'm going to apply to all. Now, if you do not see your name, center number, and candidate number appear, you can cheat by typing it into the header as well. And I'm going to apply it to everything. Bam! There you go. So I'm going to print that. And I'm going to save it as printout number 8. Okay, so how your printout will look like is it will actually look like this. Now, why would you be required to, print out your slides as handouts? Now, it is quite common in meetings that when the presenter is presenting, the slides that the presenters are using are actually printed out as handouts, so that the audience or the participants can actually write down notes. Okay, so that's the reason why perhaps the question requires you to print it out as handouts. Okay, so let's see whether we have completed the paper, and we have. Okay, so that concludes the last video in this series for the Winter 2020 Paper 2.